Let's read together, beloved Lord, nice and slow, and just feel what you're asking to be healed, to be nurtured, and to be revivified. So this is an important mantram and prayer that we say together. Okay.
Beloved Lord, Almighty God, through the rays of the sun, through the waves of the air, through the all-pervading fire in space, purify me, revivify me, and I pray, heal my body, heart, and mind.
So today we are going to start discussing the 16 steps for healing. But as a background to that, I'd like to just bring our attention to how our bodies are put together so that we understand. And think of our bodies as a series of tubes that take energy and distribute energy. Otherwise, how would energy flow? And we're going to understand what healing means through understanding how our bodies are constructed. In Ageless Wisdom, we learn there are 7 bodies, and these are the 3 primary bodies, which is our physical body, this is our hard body, but surrounding our physical body is what's called the energy body, or called the etheric body. This is very important. This is how the healing comes to the physical body, is through the subtle bodies. The next body is our emotional body, the place of our emotions. The bottom part is usually the selfish me emotion. The higher part of each body is the altruistic, the loving, the universal emotions. The same thing with our mental body. The bottom part of the mental body is what's in it for me, survival, important. And the higher is, what can I do for you? How can I make this a universal thought process? So you can see there are 3 bodies, and each one functions as a whole, depending on how much maturity we have in each body. Some people are not totally mature mentally. Children, of course, learn slowly, and they mature mentally, they mature emotionally, they mature physically. So we're going to look at how we can mature ourselves in a spiritual way so that the higher counterpart of each of our bodies is the driving force in our life. Okay? What activates each of these bodies are 7 centers or chakras in each body. Here are the 4 here, and there's 3 more up here. When we talk about the human soul, that's going to be up here. The human soul is going to develop in the higher mind, developing through compassionate love, truth, and willpower, divine willpower. The rest is the 4 centers here in the middle of the mental body, and we'll talk about what these are and how they function. Emotional body, we have 7 centers. In the etheric body, we have 7 centers. What are these 7 centers? From the top, head center, heart center, throat center, solar plexus center, spleen. Eventually, when we mature, the spleen becomes the 3rd eye, but not yet. Okay, not yet. Spleen, sacral, and base of spine. Okay, let's look at how the centers function. This is going to be very important for us. How do these affect our bodies? Well, we have tubes in each of our bodies. And what happens, our 5 senses perceive what's going on in the world. Taste, okay? We have. What are the 5 senses? Sight, taste, hearing, touch, and smell. 5 senses. So when you smell something or see something or touch something, immediately something happens in your body. Some chemical goes off. How does that work? Look, it goes directly to one of the centers. So these are values. So before these are the 5 senses. So the 5 senses are going to see, do you see beauty or ugliness? Do you hear beauty or ugliness? What are you touching? What are you smelling? What are you tasting, and how is that going to be translated? Once it goes to one of the centers, it affects the glands, and look at the glands. In the head, we have pineal, pituitary, carotid, thymus in the heart, thyroid in the lungs, throat, and air passages. That's what is influenced. Then we have the pancreas that looks at all of these: digestive system, liver, stomach, gallbladder. Then we have the spleen. The spleen has a very important function. Look it up and see. It really helps us with well-being, health, fighting diseases, bringing prana from the sun into our bodies. It has a huge function. And then we have the sex centers, sex organs, adrenal centers, base of the spine, and kidneys, fight or flight. Do you see how what you perceive in the five senses immediately gets translated into our physical bodies? Isn't that amazing? And we need to learn this map, because based on this, the Ageless Wisdom says, so therefore, here's how your healing takes place. You have to put the right attitude so the five senses see things, touch things, smell things in a different way, and then immediately everything gets affected. Does that make sense? Isn't that beautiful? So I love this map. You can look at it anytime, study it, and think about it. And as we read these beautiful content in these chapters, you will see why that is making sense. What it is telling us is our inner attitude toward life has to slowly change, and we do as we mature, don't we? And as it does, then the chemistry and the health of our bodies is going to change. So we can take medications, we can take palliative medicine. At the end of the day, those heal a little bit, change the physical condition a little bit, but for true total healing, this is what we are looking at. Does this happen in one lifetime? No. It takes a long time for us to learn to see with the eyes of the heart, to feel with our hearts, to have compassion and love and understanding and patience, all these virtues. Look at the virtues and values that are listed on this chart. And each one of these virtues and values have a correlation to all the centers. Do you see that? That's why all the great religions, all the Ageless Wisdom teachings talk about the 10 Commandments, virtues and values. What is it that the teaching is telling us, and why? Now we can see, because we'll see the direct line of correlation. Why is love? Why did Christ talk constantly about love? Look at that. It goes to the sacral center. It affects our relationship with human beings. Okay? It affects our sex centers. It affects our relationships to people. So the kind of love we have is so important. Balance, health, a healthy attitude. So you can see these, study these anytime. Anytime you have a minute, just sit and study them and say, wow, if I want my organs at the end of the day, my physical body to be the best, these are what I have to put into place. That is why also the Ageless Wisdom says, meditate on virtues. You know, the Beatitudes, all the great teachings talk about balance and humility and harmlessness. All of these things are given to us for a reason, to make us healthy. And when we are healthy, we live a creative, successful, healthy, and abundant life. That's what it's all about. Do you have questions before we start reading and seeing the connection of why he is saying there are 16 steps for healing? And we're going to study one by one in the next months, and you're welcome to read these, take these home, read them at home, and just say, why is this important? Do you have questions before we start? It's pretty clear, isn't it? Yes, Kelly.
Is this in the book anywhere in that kind of a format?
It is not in that format, but I'll be happy to send it to you. Yeah, I'll be happy. You know what I'll do is put those online with the meditations so people can refer to them. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the whole thing so you can just flip through them and say, which one do I need to look at? Because I think these are really important. It took me 5 years of the stepping into the teaching classes to put all of these charts together and say, you know, the chart just makes sense to me. I have to see it. And then I go, oh yeah, that connects, right? So I'll put them up online. When we put all the sound files up, you'll be able to see them, okay?
So if you're having issues with like the kidneys or the spleen, does that mean that you're not following the values?
Exactly. So if you have a problem here, but let me just give a little warning. Don't think that everything is dependent on you. It could be the way we were raised. It could be our environment. It could be a million reasons why we are feeling toxic. We're feeling irritated. We're feeling not ourselves. But at the end of the day, the human soul has to take command and say, no matter what is happening everywhere, it's your responsibility to make it better, right? But I like compassion. You know, I like to approach my life with compassion. Okay, I'm not perfect. How did I get here? What's happening? And what do I need to do? So with love, compassion, and gentleness, we can find our path. Okay? That's how I like to see it. Holly and then Kelly.
Sharing. What's the sharing? What does that mean, like sharing? Like, explain that to me.
Okay. What is sharing? Let me open it up to everyone. What is sharing and why is it important? Connie.
Well, it's giving. It's kind of like the law of reciprocity. If I share and give to you, then it creates that, and then you give back. And so that's the way I see sharing.
Yeah.
So sharing anything?
Yeah.
Like we're just sharing, okay, so just open dialogue, just sharing. Okay.
Open dialogue, love. Go ahead, Amanda Jane.
I was also thinking that the thing that I try to look at is what am I sharing and is it helpful?
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Because that is the sharing part. It's sharing with discernment,
Yes.
sharing with goodwill, sharing with harmlessness.
Sharing with love.
Yeah,
Sharing with love. Perfect.
yeah, and that can do. You know, some things come really easily to me, and other things are a bit more.
Yeah.
It's a bit more of a path.
Our opinions can be toxic or loving. What are we going to share? And as we put it out, the way this is an individual person, but so is a family, so is a nation, so is a humanity. It's the same. So whatever we share is a vibration that goes out to everything around us, to our children, our pets, our homes, our furniture. Why do some places feel peaceful and others don't? Because of what has been shared there. Okay, so that was a great question. So we're going to ask, what am I sharing?
And if I can just add to that, because I have definitely had some physical concerns, is that it's very easy to say, what did I do wrong? Like become very self-judgmental, like why do I have this? And then when I investigate it, you find out, oh, my mother, it's like a history thing through, and sometimes it's behavioral and sometimes it's physical. So that compassion and non-judgmental has been key to me accepting and moving through things.
And as we heal ourselves, our families are healed, and a whole family history is being healed. You see, that's why the ageless wisdom, religious teachings based on love and forgiveness are so important, so that there is generational trauma that's going to be removed and not passed on, or human trauma, right? Kelly, question, please.
I was just wondering, are the organs corresponding to our actual physical organs, or like in traditional Chinese medicine, like spleen is not really our...
Well, there are physical organ, etheric counterpart, emotional counterpart, and mental counterpart. So when you heal one part, slowly, let's say we become fearless, we share, we persevere, then we have that strong willpower, right? That's going to show up in our adrenals, our kidneys. We're calmer, we're more balanced. That means our family is going to be that way. Everybody we interrelate with at work, group, grocery store, we're not, every minute. We're calm. We're thoughtful. We're compassionate. And that's going to affect every single part of our three bodies. So always think physical body is the last thing that gets affected. Okay? This carpet is the effect, is the completion of physical work, but it took design, it took craftsmanship, it thought and planning, right? I want to make a carpet. Where'd that come from? Do you see that? So the physical end result is the result of many things that happened before. It was cold, we needed a carpet. It was noisy, we needed to buffer the sound, and so on. Do you see? So think of the three bodies always together, and of course we have 4 more bodies beyond that, but let's just focus on these 3 for now, okay? Very important. Let me go back to the centers, but keep these both in mind, okay?
I just want to add that the sharing
Yes,
too,
yes.
is more about my energy rather than my voice, because I can find that my voice, people don't interpret it very well, or they misperceive what's being communicated. And so I find that just being an energy system has been much more successful for me than necessarily speaking.
Yes, and the energy in your voice can be all of these, depending on what's needed, right? Because this is what you're sharing. With our eyes we share, with our mouth what we say we share, with our body movement and suggestions we share, right? We raise our eyebrows, we share. We are constantly communicating. So I'd like to put another word here. What are we communicating? Right? What are we sharing in our communication? Spoken communication and unspoken communication is so powerful. Our eyes, our nose, our face, our hands, we just go like this. It's dismissive, and we go like this. It's loving. Do you see? All of these are so important. So take these and really think about them. What are we sharing? What are we doing? So absolutely correct. Because people perceive energy, not just the words we're saying. They perceive the energy behind it. And we all do. Our kids do, our dogs and cats do, our family does. They all are taking in the energy with which we are communicating. Thank you. That's beautiful. Are we ready to read now? Oh, you had a question? We answered it. Perfect. Okay. If you have the book, chapter 22, and of course the handout, chapter 22. What I'd like to do is we read, we ask questions, we share. What are your insights about each of these paragraphs? So let's start with Kelly. Kelly, please read that first paragraph.
Okay. The healing process is a liberation process. You cannot regenerate your vehicles as long as you are identified with them.
And the next paragraph.
Okay. People think that the secrets of health are found outside of themselves, but actually the secrets of health are within. The potential for healing power within the man has very deep roots, which as yet are not touched by him. Many modern healing arts deal mostly with the surface of the man. Various psychological methods deal with the emotional body or with the lower mental body. But the time will come when healers will occupy themselves mainly with awakening the inner man and using his cooperation in healing the ills of the mental, emotional, and physical bodies.
Good. Now, based on the 2 charts we've looked at, what does that last sentence mean? Mainly with awakening the inner man or person and using his cooperation in healing the ills of the mental, emotional, and physical bodies. What do you suppose that means based on what we just looked at? These 2 charts.
That you become the healer?
Sorry?
That you become the healer? No.
Yes? Go ahead. Anything else? What do you think he's saying?
That we're responsible for our own healing.
Yes.
Something that
And what is the inner person? Where is, on this chart, where is the inner person? There it is. And when we open this inner person, everything flows down from there instead of the habits from the bottom up. Okay, that's what that's saying. So that's what we're going to look at. Okay, any questions about that first paragraph before we go to the next paragraph?
Well, it says using his cooperation, so it requires some, there was taking responsibility and being aware of it and wanting it to be different.
Yes. That's the phrase, wanting it to be different. do I want it badly enough to be different? Yes.
And with this, using our cooperation, there can be such a philosophy of taking the medicine and not making any personal changes, thinking that the medicine is going to have some miracle. So really, the cooperation with us to behave in a way that helps the medicine, you know, the prescription or whatever.
Yes.
Like we don't wash up our hands of it, but that takes a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's
But
so
don't.
worthwhile.
Anybody else? Don't you think that at some point we all come to a point where we say, I've tried all the medicines, I've done all of these things, and I really need to change my inner attitude? I mean, we all come to that point, and it takes a lot of honesty, doesn't it?
Yeah, yep. I experienced that with infertility for 7 years, where I couldn't get pregnant naturally. And then I had 2 children who my placenta gave out, and I had all these issues. And then my mother had Alzheimer's, and then it was rock bottom for me, where I didn't feel good. And I ended up changing things and changing my lifestyle, and got pregnant naturally and delivered just shy of 41 with no complications. And that's when my mind was completely. And at first I looked at the holistic practitioner that helped me, and I was like, no, I was the healer, and I had all these, you know, people and things that helped me along the way. But it was mind blowing to me that.
That is so profound. And what you just said is, I was the healer. Because people can give us all the help, but they can't change us unless I say, I am the healer of my life. Good for you. I'm glad you have 3 beautiful children. Yeah. Yes, Stacia.
Society
Nice and loud, please.
Society has created such a dependence, even today, particularly, you know, taking what would be our responsibility, our freedom, our sovereignty, and turning them over to clouds that somebody else is running and has control over and can take at any moment. And also to how we act, feel, you know, is so. Even in the healthcare system, there's a dependency created on the outside, and it's opposing what's truly needed to go in. And with the further in I've gone, that's when the illumination happens, and it comes in, and it is profound.
I think we all have experienced that moment from our personal experiences. We know that moment when we say, I'm going to take responsibility. And all the beautiful medicines out there and the people will help me, but I have to take the pill. I have to make the change. Right? Yeah, beautiful. It's so nice to see all of us just saying, yep, been there. Right? Nice. Stacia, would you read the next paragraph, please?
We are told that in the etheric, astral, and mental bodies, there are subtle centers which, when used creatively, can cure, heal, enlighten, strengthen, and vitalize our bodies for as long as we want. But these centers can only be used constructively when the awareness unit, the real human soul, is able to detach his identification from the physical, emotional, and mental bodies and focus himself on his own essence.
How do we find our own essence?
How do we find it?
Yeah. Say, I like my essence, but what is it? How do I find my real essence?
Well, I have my clients look at a childhood picture under 5, because that essence is there, that changeless essence is there, and it's there. So that's what I do.
Yes.
I love that.
Isn't that interesting that when we do the joy and healing exercises, we start with remembering childhood joys, right? That innocent state. Any other insights on finding your essence? Yes.
I also think that it's easier for me to find my essence when I have gratitude for the help that I'm given, the help that I am given. Whenever I'm in some kind of tube, like MRI or anything. It has been so helpful, and I don't know where I got this, but I think it would be where I thank the people who made it, all the people that put it together and came up with the technology. And you just feel their like energy around you, because this all came about to help. So it's about it being a partner to me, which was very, very key to it, because I highly respect the medical profession, and I feel like, wait a minute, God brought them. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So again, it is that partnership, and that has helped me so beautifully to do that. It's not me against them, but you have to find the right partners, and then for me only, it's a sense of appreciation and blessings has helped me.
Thank you. Any other insights? Yes?
For me, the essence comes through when I can feel it in my body that I'm aligned and it's light, and I can feel that resistance when I'm against my essence. So I always check in here, and speaking to AJ's comment about medicine is, I think sometimes we are too quick to push medicine away, instead of realizing there is places where it's positive, but we have to be in partnership with it to make it useful, versus somebody telling you this is how it's going to be. So yeah, so I think for me it's just always checking in with my system of, does that feel, or does that feel okay?
Right. Beautiful. I like the partnership idea and the gratitude for that beautiful discovery, that beautiful thought of creating something that helps. Thank you. Kelly.
I was going to say, for me, in discovering like my true self and reconnecting to that when I've lost it, it's I'm just very quiet and still, and I just stop adding to my experience, right? all the things, whether it's good or bad, like just to stop. And that's when I can really get in touch with it, and it's just like everything immediately opens up and feels so much lighter, because often I'm adding things that are really not helping.
Very, very insightful, everything that's being said. Go ahead, Stacia.
Well, in that last sentence, it's all the tools are right there, particularly staying out with identification, saying, but these centers can only be used constructively when the awareness unit, the real human soul, is able to detach his identification from the physical, emotional, mental, focus on himself. And because as long as I'm identified with one or usually all of those, there's all this illusion. It's non-reality, and to pierce through the illusion, I have to detach from that. I have to not identify. Like, for instance, I have been diagnosed with MS. Okay, but I don't own it. I don't say and really just full tilt identify. But when I was first diagnosed, I did. And I got caught in the undertow of, the illusion of, and it becomes powerless because the illusion is you're turning that, you've become totally identified with it. So the further away from that identification, that's where that light comes in.
And focus himself in his own essence. That's the key word. It's so beautiful. Connie.
Well, and in the first quote, it said vehicles, and where I see my body as a vehicle, it gets me around. And I have a car, I'm not my car. So I'm not my body. And if I'm not my body, then who am I? So that helps me.
The whole keynote of the Ageless Wisdom teaching, the deep religious and spiritual teachings, is to be souls, to be our own essence and look through life through that. And that's part of the evolutionary process. It's not easy, but we can do it. And we do it at certain intervals. We really find our essence and life changes. because it's part of the evolutionary process. We've built our physical, emotional, mental bodies for millions of years. And now we're trying to say, okay, these are great. Now let's start focusing on the soul. And you can see that in everywhere. People are saying, what am I in my essence? What am I in my soul? And that's a beautiful process. And so this whole healing is part of that. Yes?
You know, in you saying that, I just had this deep emotion just kind of move up into my throat and eyes tearing. It was, I'm trying, I don't know, reflect on that. What's causing that? I mean, it felt good.
It feels good. Just reading this makes us feel good, doesn't it? That's why sacred texts are read for thousands of years, and they still feel good. When you read the Beatitudes, you feel good because they're truth. They talk from the essence of the teacher to the essence of our human life. That's why they resonate. They resonate. And that's what you're feeling. So let yourself feel, let yourself be lifted and say, yes, let me feel that and be lifted to who I truly am. That's what I want to be. Yes, Amanda Jane.
I'm doing another class, and I loved this that was in the teaching. It said, to be human is like winning the golden ticket from the universe. And I just love that because our bodies are the greatest gift for us to learn all of that. And so that has been, I know there's, and I know exactly what Connie's saying and everything, that in my essence I am not my body, but I am my body, because but I acknowledge and appreciate my body, because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to learn. So again, I think that just the gift of being human is amazing for all of its challenges, but the gift that we are here in this room together learning from you, like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Are you ready to go to the third paragraph?
We are.
There is no rush in this process. We're just going to take whatever time it takes so that we really feel the connection. That's what I want. I don't want it to be just an intellectual exercise of reading words. I want us to have that moment of connection, because that is what heals. That's what changes us. Okay, so let's go to the third paragraph. Holly, please.
One can use these centers, influencing them from the outside by physical, emotional, and mental methods. But such procedures do not evoke the help of the centers as long as the innermost man has not been contacted. It is only the owner of these centers who can use them safely to restore health, happiness, and strength.
What is he saying? So here are the centers. Here are all the virtues and values that will help us get to the end of healing. How is he connecting it? Let's reiterate. Yes?
Action of our soul, our divinity, connecting with the physical.
Yeah. It is that decision of, I'm going to get up and do this. And as soon as we make that decision, there's an activation that happens. So we can read about courage and striving and daring and love and forgiveness and sharing and all of that. I say, well, these are nice. I can meditate on them. I can really understand them. I can write philosophical treatises on them. Love is great. Balance is better. Health is wonderful, and write about them. But that's just staying at the bottom of our minds. As soon as we say, I am now going to get up and be a person of harmlessness, person of love and gratitude, and I'm going to do this right now, that's when the change starts happening. Do you see that? So it's not an intellectual process. Of course, it takes the intellectual process, the physical process, the emotional buying in, thinking through it, and then lastly, we have to do it. Are you ready for the next paragraph?
Yep.
Okay, Diane.
Okay, the energy of healing will flow from these centers and purify and heal the bodies once the owner of these centers turns the key. The secrets of healing are within the etheric, astral, and mental bodies, but the keys to these secrets are the hands of the human soul.
One more line, please.
There are very simple steps by which you can gradually center yourself in your own core.
So what are the key words that we are going to focus on as we go to the steps? What did Diane just read? That's the key. Yes?
It's like you have to wake up, yes, to use these centers, to have access to them.
Yes. What else?
You have to know that there are keys.
And what else?
The human soul, we have to use activate the human soul along with that other.
Okay. And what else? What do you do with keys?
Oh, turn them on.
You turn them. Right?
Yeah, you unlock, turn them.
Again, unlock.
You have to make the change.
I love those words. Get the key, put it in to the right place, to the right lock. You can't just take any key to any lock. Put it in and turn it, and then pull that door. You see, those are the actions, right? So let's think about those. What does that mean? So it takes time. First, we learn about it theoretically, we buy into it, we say, I'm going to do it, and then we do it. And those are all steps. So I don't like to demean any part of the steps. Just getting the key out of my purse is step number 1, right? And then say, is this the right key to the right lock? And then take it, put it in, turn it, and open the door. So these are very important, and I want us to really understand them and appreciate how long it takes for us to actually do that. Okay? Any questions? Because we're going to stop here for today and we're going to start our visualizations. Yes.
So what I'm thinking the key is obviously the human soul and identification with that and somehow increasing that tension. And I'm like, what are some ways to increase that identification with that?
Let me give you 3 powers of the soul that are the key and the lock are going to be matched with those 3 powers. I want you to think about those 3 powers like they're etched across your forehead. They're so simple, but they are the 3 energies that are going to bring the right key to the right lock. First one is love. Love, compassion. You've got to have that loving, caring, yes, I want to do this. Yes, it matters to me. Yes, it's important. Do you see that? Without that love, nothing works in our life. The second one is intelligence, light. Is this the right key to the right lock? Don't just take the key anywhere and stick it in any door. And we do that. You know, we search the internet, we look at the medications, we look at practices, we look at people, we go one, are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? You know, and we do that. And I think that's part of the growth process. I don't want to demean the search even. The search is important. But light means we look, we observe, and we go, this fits this. That's the truth. Okay? The third one is called willpower, which is perseverance. If it doesn't work the first time, wrong door, wrong key, I'm going to go and find the right one. Perseverance, willpower. Because you are going to be single-minded. I want to change. I want healing. I want to change the way I'm so out of balance. I'm so unloving sometimes. What's going on? I want to change that. So that willpower is your third power. Those are the 3 powers of your soul. However you translate those 3 powers, those are going to lead your right key to the right lock, to the right door. And with those, you will find the right values and virtues, the right process, because you're going to look at truth. Is this really true? Do I really get healing through this process? Yes, no, maybe. And those are the 3 powers. They're not hard to remember, but you have them inside of you. I have them inside of me. And there's no getting away from them. Love, light, and power. Okay? They look easy, but they're not. So power, persistence, perseverance, continuity. And it takes power to get out and do the exercise and not just think that exercise is good for me. Okay, it's good for me tomorrow, good for me the next day, but am I out there walking? Am I out there doing what needs to be done? Yes.
So am I hearing you say identify, like with the logos, the moment,
the Trinity. These three are the Trinity of the entire creation. The solar system, God, Christ, they're the three Trinity. That's why they're so powerful. The souls of human beings are one. The soul of the universe is one with my soul. So once those three powers are inside, Stacia, nothing can change. Nothing will take you away from them. And that's where real progress happens, because you'll go from one progress to another, to another, to another. Because those three powers are in God, in Christ, in the universe, in the logos, in the solar system, everywhere, and human beings, and all of Earth. So those three powers links us with every virtue, every value, everything that is divine and beautiful in our life. Isn't that powerful?
Yeah.
And so simple, isn't it? Yeah. But it's so hard for us to discern truth. You see? But we know inside of us what is true, don't we? Don't you? I do. And then I go, what's wrong with me not to do this? Well, okay. We're going to wash those away. Let's do the exercise. Because what we are doing with these mental exercises, allowing the soul to express. See? The powers of the soul are three. Let me reiterate them. First power is that we can think, and that's truth. See, we know where the truth is. Second power of the human soul is creative imagination. You create, you find the truth, and you create it through your love and connection. And the third power is to visualize. And when we visualize, that linked power makes it real. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit more of the purification exercise. This is really beautiful. And as you know, you've learned energy follows thought, right? So we are going to do this. It's beautiful. We'll do a little bit more of what we did last week, and we will finish the first section, and then we will build on it at every meeting. Okay? This is page 17, mental exercises, and we'll put it online for you so you can follow it. No problem. Yes. You can do it as many times as you like. Okay. Be comfortable, close your eyes, and just relax. We have plenty of time. Make sure your head doesn't float back. Keep your chin down a little bit so you don't put pressure on the back of your neck. And deep breathing. Don't hold your breath. You're looking beautiful, each of you. So beautiful, relaxed. And I want you to focus your consciousness in your head. Don't think about your physical body, your emotions, your thoughts, your problems. And just relax your eyes. And first, you're going to visualize a beautiful waterfall. Any place that you want. Maybe you've been to a waterfall. You've stood under it. You've swam in the pool that the water comes out of, nice and cool. Or create a waterfall that would be just yours. It's personally yours, your private place. Now, in your imagination, take off all your clothes and go into the water and swim through the little pool of water and go under the waterfall. It's gentle, it doesn't hurt your head. And feel the water. Make it as beautiful and warm and gentle as you want. Maybe you're in the tropics and there are beautiful birdsong around you, foliage. You're perfectly safe. Now first start by washing your physical body. Maybe you've hiked a lot and you have a lot of sweat and dirt and dust on your body. Wash it and just see how the dirt is washing away as the water pools away from you. How the water is cleaning you, cleaning your hair, your face, your neck. Let the water fall from your shoulders to your arms. Have it go down your chest and your front of your body, down your legs. Turn your back to the waterfall and let it fall from your back of your head. And just enjoy it like a little beautiful child. Just squeal with joy. You can make the water a little bit cooler. And now observe the drops of water, how they fall from the waterfall, and what happens to them as they fall on you. And play in the water. Lie down in it with your face up. And just float and look up at the sky and the tops of the trees. And repeat after me. Cleanse me, O Lord, by your energy. Cleanse my body. Now we are going to visualize the water is penetrating into our inner organs and cleaning them. It goes into your head and just cleans your brain and washes it, your heart, your lungs. You're taking an internal shower. Let it come inside of your mouth and go into your digestive system. And let it float out the other end. Don't worry. This is all natural, beautiful, heavenly water coming from the purest of mountains. Wash your lungs, your inner muscles, your bones, your organs. Just let it flush out. In your imagination, extend your arms up and see how you receive the water with your fingertips. And have it come inside of you and wash your whole body and out through the toes. Go ahead and direct that energy now. As you're taking this internal shower, water coming out of your nose, your eyes, your mouth, repeat after me. Lord, Cleanse me
Cleanse me
from the afflictions
from the afflictions
of my bodies.
of my bodies.
Let everything get flushed out. Germs, microbes, viruses. And make it real. See how the water splashes around your ears and splashes out. Now you're going to start jumping and playing in the water, being very happy. Feel very free. And you're getting totally purified. Open your mouth in the water and drink and drink and drink, and let it flush you out like beautiful, energetic, perfect water. Drink it again and have it come out of your ears. Beautiful, clean water going in. Your ears are clean as the water comes out clean. We're going to clean every sense. Your ears are clean now. Let the water come into your eyes and clean your eyes. Let it come into your nose and your sinuses so that the sense of smell is clean. Bring the water into your mouth and let the mouth be cleaned. Let your hands be cleaned. Now see the water coming out of your 5 senses, coming in and washing out the 5 senses, so that we can perceive life in the most beautiful way. Again, take water through your fingertips. Make it really fun. Pretend your fingers are like hoses. We have 10 hoses. These clean your meridians. Let the water come into your fingers and wash out. Now you're going to, in your imagination, close your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your toes and fingers. The water is going to come in and let you swell out. And it's going to come out of the pores of your skin, your hair. The skin and hair are like tiny hoses. It's fun to see your body just eliminate. We're like a little porcupine. Everything is coming out. Our skin is getting clear. Our hair is cleaning inside out. Check your body. Be sure the water is pouring out of every place. Like a sprinkler. See yourself like a sprinkler. Now slowly have the sprinkler stop pouring out, slowly, slowly. You are now squeaky clean inside and outside. Gently come out of the water, put a beautiful robe on, and just sit. And feel peace. And just see what you are feeling, what you are seeing and sensing at that moment. In your imagination, see all of us sitting with beautiful robes around this beautiful waterfall, this divine waterfall. And let us express our gratitude to this cleansing with 3 ohms. Remember how you're feeling, the experience you just had. Rub your hands together. Open your eyes. Thank you, everyone.